I'm Mark Greubel. I'm the head coach for Waco Team USA Kickboxing, and I've trained multiple world champions.
I'm Sergio Cunha, mixed martial arts coach. I coached 14 UFC world champions and 5 UFC Hall of Famers.
What's up, guys? I'm Mark Greubel. I'm here with my friend Sergio Cunha and Helen PERALTA. Helen PERALTA is the female bare-knuckle fighting championships world champion. And Helen, you have a fight coming up, right?
That is correct.
And when's that going to be?
That's March 14 in Wichita, Kansas.
Wichita, Kansas. Cool. Now, what got you interested in freaking bare-knuckle fighting? Like, I tell people about you all the time. Like, I'm always bragging on you, and I'm like, man, you got to meet this chick, this girl Helen. Like, she's the female bare-knuckle boxer, and their instant reaction is usually like, like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Why? The female bare-knuckle fighting championships world champion? Okay, so...
Yeah, some people ask me, is that even legal? I'm like, well, it is now. It's like, is that a new thing? I'm like, no, it's actually one of the oldest form of martial arts, except that it's making a comeback. They have to put the gloves on so they can become more mainstream, and then you can have it on TV. You have TV deals, and you can make more money. So they had to take that approach. But now we're a little bit more comfortable with just having different brands, having different products, and bare knuckle fighting championship is one of them.
That's so interesting. Yeah, like we put the gloves on to make it more humane.
Yeah, but it isn't, because now when I have gloves on, I can throw really, really hard. When I punch the heavy bag, I feel sorry for it. But when you have gloves on, you have to be more precise with your shot, you know?
Yeah.
And not only that, for example, you have a guy that's undefeated, two undefeated guys fighting. There's a big emphasis in boxing about being undefeated. I don't understand it. I don't think it's good for the sport. Might be good for business, but not good for the sport. So what happens? This guy, you can't call the fight too soon because you're changing someone's career. When they get one loss, everybody thinks they're not good anymore. I mean, you hear the way people are talking about Wilder now, like
That's
if he
crazy.
never did anything, you know?
Yeah.
So you let these guys go and go because you don't want to ruin their career by giving them an L. So then what happened? They're taking all of these unnecessary punches from people who know how to punch. And your corner doesn't know that you had enough because there's nothing showing, you know?
Right.
In bare knuckle boxing, if you're having a bad night, if you're not defending properly, if you don't know what you're doing, it shows in your face. And then the referee will stop it. You get a cut or two. It's superficial damage. You can, I mean, my first bare knuckle fight, I looked like the guy from the movie Rocky at the end. I was like, yo, Adrian, we did it. You know, if you see that picture and you see me 10 days later, it's a completely different person. I was already training 10 days later. I was able to train. I was healthy. Of course, it's more superficial damage, but I'm not really trying to pursue a modeling career. So I figured I'll give it a try. You know, man, life is about making, memories, and this will be a really cool thing for me to talk about.
For sure, yeah. So next time I brag about you, I'm going to show people that picture, okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm actually very proud of that because that was a lot of work. You know, there's some things that you get and they're easy. Like my second bare knuckle fight, it was kind of easy for me, and I was not my best that night. I was feeling sick. I had a cold. I had like this really heavy feeling on my chest, and I was worried because I thought, you know, I don't have the cardio to go out of the first round. And then it occurred to me on my way to the ring, I'm like, so then don't let it get out of the first round, you know, just finish. But that was a lot easier than my first fight, and I'm a lot more proud of my first fight than I am of my second, because I had really good competition. You know, you're only as good as the people you choose to compete against.
Very true, very true. And that's one thing that I like when I looking in from the outside, I really respect about you, because in my eyes, like, people look at you and they just see this tiny little female, but like, Helen's fucking fearless, man. She will fight anybody. Like, if if I said, hey, Helen, you're gonna get paid to fight that tree out there, she will beat that tree's ass.
No, not just that. You know, in that night, in that fight you're talking about, they told us, okay, you're gonna be in the fight, like the 7th fight of the night, right? So we was ready to start warm up. We had a plan to do the warm up after the 3rd fight. Then a lady just walked for us and said, hey guys, you guys are next.
Oh my God.
So she just have a time enough to put her shorts on and jump in the ring to fight. You know?
Wow, just totally cold, huh?
Yeah, I don't know, the fights were so good. We were watching on the screen, and when she popped her head out and said, you guys are next, I didn't even have my training clothes on. I'm like, but I'm not ready. She's like, you're next. I'm like,
next,
okay.
yeah.
And Sergio's like, where's the ice? I'm like, I fight, you find the ice. And he's like, okay, dude.
She's so nice, you know. And this is something nice for you guys to know about her. So, you know, before any type of fight, you know, everybody walk to the corner before start your match, and you hug your coaches, you shake hands, you give water for your fighter, right?
All right, right.
She don't like nothing. You know, before she walked in, she said, you offer her water. Do you want to have water or something? I don't want to drink water now. Now it's time to fight. Don't touch me. Don't talk with me. Don't look for me. Okay? All right. But, you know, this is nice because when she does that, I know she's ready.
Yeah.
She's in the mood. She changes and ready to fight.
That is
In the moment she become too nice, something is wrong.
Well, you know what? How cool is it that you have Sergio as a coach? Like, I mean, there's people all over our country that would, all over the world really, that would love to train with this guy, and that's your coach. How awesome is that?
It's very awesome, but it's also a result of me hustling. Everywhere he goes, I follow him. I'm like, he's like, I don't have space. I only have a little room. I'm like, I sleep on the floor. I don't care. I just want to get the training in, you know. This is a very tough sport.
For sure.
It's a very tough sport.
Yeah.
And the new generation, these kids are coming in. I mean, you have 20-year-olds that are already black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or some
Right.
sort of martial art. I don't have time to sit around. If you want something, you literally have to go and get it. So wherever this guy goes, I don't care. You know, when I make this trip to come train for this fight, my opponent is a rematch from the first fight.
Tell them how long you drove to get here.
16 hours straight, no stop, because I didn't have
hours.
money to get a hotel room. And for me, the only important thing is that right now you got to win. You got to put in the work. And I know that, you know, working hard is difficult. You have people who have talent. You have people who have luck. You know, maybe, you know, you have the right sponsorship. Maybe you have a good family support. But nothing happens without work, without
Right.
hard work. You can only make it so far. And then after that, if you don't improve your game, you're going to plateau. You're never going to be anything else than that. For
Yeah.
me, I feel like I'm still evolving. I've only been training for 4 years, you know, so even though I'm old,
Wait a
I'm
minute.
young in the fight game.
So you've never even like boxed or kickboxed before then?
No.
She decided this way. She was watching in a bar, what I believe, some fights, and she said, I can do that. I can
was
beat
so
up all
drunk.
that
I'm
people.
like, I can beat 'em up.
I can beat up all these people. Then her friends say, no, you can't. You don't know how this works. They try to explain to her how it works. Then I believe like 2 days later, she joined a gym, started to train, and she proved it was wrong, right?
That's
Oh,
awesome.
I didn't believe one person can. I didn't understand the sport, so I didn't think one girl can beat me. So they're like, "What weight class you want to be?" And I'm like, "Who wants to fight?" I fought my first fight at 145. I weighed at 133, fully clothed, phone in my pocket,
I
everything.
had no idea about
I had
weight
no
cutting.
idea. I see the girl, she looked big, but I'm like, she's one person. I've been
Yeah.
like in a street fight with multiple people. I have no idea. It's completely different.
I just had to fight one
No,
person.
you think fighting one person will be easy after you being jumped by so many people? I fight so many people at once. I'm like, oh, I got this. I had
Yeah.
no clue. Sports is different.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like on the street, this is one of my favorite moves. It's illegal.
Did you win that fight?
I did.
Nice.
I did. And I was surprised because when they came in, they goes like, here's your corner between round, you stop there. I'm like, I don't need no corner. It's gonna be over in 1
You
second.
start this way from the beginning.
You're from the beginning.
See, start from the beginning. I don't need it. I'm happy. At least now you accept to have a corner man, right?
I told him I wouldn't need I didn't need to know where to sit because there was not gonna be a second round. I really thought I was gonna walk up to her, I was gonna jab, and she was gonna pass out. That
But
was
you
my
still,
expectation.
after all that fights we did, you never took a seat.
Oh, I don't sit
You
down.
never. You know, sometimes you take a little water, but you never sit.
I'm not thirsty. I know I already drank water. That's like kind of like a nervous tick. You're like in the middle of a fight, you feel like you need to drink water. What you really need is air. So you better get breathing all the way in, all the way out. Calm yourself down. Try to stay in the game. And kind of, the more people they are for me, the less people they are in the room. It's just me and that person. You know, my first bare-knuckle fight, I thought somebody threw a can and hit me in the face.
What?
It turned out to be a right hand. But I never looked to the floor for the can. I just look at the ref. I'm like, is he going to say anything? Somebody threw a can and hit me in the face. And I was like, it must have been a legal shot.
That was a
hilarious.
beautiful hard shot.
Yeah, she hits hard. I was like, I really thought it was a can. Like somebody threw a can. I almost saw like a can of Coca-Cola. Like just, I'm like,
Hey,
what?
no free commercial. Some pop.
Or Pepsi.
Some pop. Who pays more? You know, but coming back for what you asked her, what about we train together? I believe this is a connection.
Yeah.
You know, the first day, ever we meet each other. We was in Chicago in our friend's gym, Shane, and she come to spar. We had like a Friday opening spar for everybody. Then she come in. Sometimes I train together, and she got ready. Everybody was ready. Then I call her, said, "Let's do it, you and me. Just please don't hurt me." I was being honest because my body, after 35 years of martial arts, my whole entire body's hurt. Then she thought, "Oh, who is this guy? Why he's being a dick with me?" And she thought about me, beat me up, right? We did it, whatever. We did our 3-4 rounds, good training. Then after everything done, she sparred other guys. Then she told me, "Hey, come here to meet the guy. His name is Sergio Cunha, the coach, blah, blah, blah." I said, "That's me. I am Sergio." Then, then she, I don't know how end up, but she don't even return home from that trip.
No.
She stay.
Wow.
And she jumped already in camp. And after that camp, we had 4 matches. Wow. She fought for 4 different belts. And she won 4 belts in 2 months?
Yeah. Just
That's
one after the other.
remarkable.
And when I decided to stay, I was staying at the gym.
We
It wasn't like I had a hotel. We were living at the gym.
We have like 2 different rooms. And Shane, our very good friend, allowed us to stay to work.
Yeah.
Gave us all the tools, all the support. And we could do that. What takes a normal people like 2 years to get ready, to go for that show, she did in 2 months. But a lot of sacrifice. She don't have birthday parties. She don't have Thanksgiving, no Christmas. It was a hard work, the way you said, but was worth it.
It was worth it. I love winning. I don't like losing. I lost one, and I hated it. I hated every second of it. Losing sucks.
Yeah.
It's not for me. So but I do what needs to be done to get the win. I don't stop. I don't give up. When I'm in training and I'm really tired and I feel like I can't go anymore, you get that feeling. You feel like you're going to throw up and your muscles are cramping. This is what I do for motivation. I look at one of my opponents, coming up opponent, and I look for, everybody put up their best videos. And I look at the video, I'm like, "You want her to beat you up?" And the answer is always no. All right, so get up and finish the workout. That's how I motivate myself.
Speaking of training, like I watch you, I follow you. Your training methodology is really awesome. Like a lot of the exercises and drills you do is pretty on point. Like I see a lot of ridiculous training. I've seen some videos of guys
Sure.
like I've seen some stuff on YouTube. Like I'll give you an example. Like these guys are in this gym and they got these new students all lined up on the wall and they're just pounding these guys in the face like that's supposed to be helping them. But I don't know why that would ever help somebody. But when I look at your training methodology, it's really pretty cool. Like you do a lot of different things. You're not really locked into one particular the same thing every day. I see you doing a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, because I'm still evolving as a fighter. 4 years in the game is not much. And the first 2 years, I didn't know what I was doing. I'm just jumping around. I live in Fairfield, Iowa, okay? It's a very small town known for meditation, okay? Not for beating people up. So there's not much for me there. So I made a lot of mistakes going to a lot of different gyms. You go to some gyms, everybody has a beast at the gym. And I'm not a boxer. I warm up to capoeira, and if we box, I'll probably beat you. But it's not because I'm better than you. It's just because I don't know what I'm doing. So it's really hard for you to try to guess what I'm going to do next, because I personally don't know what I'm going to do next.
It looks like she knows what she's doing. I've seen her spar.
I'm just relaxed. I don't care if I lose in training because I'm not trying to be the gym champion.
Right.
So the fact that I'm so relaxed makes it easy for me to win, because you're just thinking, this girl came, I have to make sure I look good because my training partners are watching. I'm not thinking that way. I'm thinking I'd rather get a beating here than over there under the lights, So for me, I don't have an ego when I go train, and that really opens the door for other stuff. First 2 years, I pick up so many injuries because I didn't know what I was doing. And people were so concentrating, oh, you got to work hard, no days off, go hard, go home. And that's what I heard. So I figured, I fought my second MMA fight, my third, with a broken foot. Never got a check because it just kept turning purple every time I kick something. And I thought, you just ice it, no days off, keep going. All these ridiculous hashtags I see up there. It sounded cool, so I was doing that. But then last 2018, July, I picked up a really big injury. I had 3 torn ligaments in one leg. And that changed my life because I'd never been injured. Even as a kid, when I saw someone in a wheelchair, I thought, that's crazy, because if I can see my legs, I can move them, it's just never, but until you're hurt, you just don't realize how much you need, and the knee is so poorly designed. It's just, once it's messed up, it's really, really hard, and I have to change my approach. I had to become a different person.
How did you hurt your knee?
So I can't talk about it.
Okay.
No, I can't talk about it because it's some legal things involved there. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. It was a bad move. Sometimes when you trust the people you're training with, you're too relaxed. Like when you're training at the gym, as I said, I'm always so relaxed. I'm not trying to win. I'm just trying to flow and have a good time.
Yeah.
That's what I tell kids sometimes. The moment you're tired, if you're visiting a gym, this is the rule I have. 1, never go dehydrated. I don't care that you're cutting weight. If you're cutting weight and you're going to go do hard sparring at someone else's gym, there's always a little bit of ego. You're going to someone else's house.
Right.
There's people watching, and some people care a lot about what other people think. So the entire economy is based on that,
Well, yeah.
So don't go tired, don't go dehydrated, never put your guard down. The bell goes off, you're looking at that person until they disengage. Never turn because you heard the alarm go off. Another thing, so if it gets too crazy, it's okay to say, no, I don't want to go anymore.
Right.
Are you scared? Actually, I am. How much protection you need? Sometimes I tell people, if I can put bubble wrap around my body, I would. Okay? I'm an asset. This is for free. I'm not trying to be the gym champion.
Yeah.
But some people are, and some people might get jealous. The way I made it, I made it to the biggest all-female promotion, MMA promotion in the world with less than a year and a half of training.
Yeah, that's pretty remarkable.
And I sat on that contract and fought 2 more times because I wanted to make sure I had it. I put myself 2 times, cut weight, 115 without knowing. The first fight at 115 was my first fight at 115. And then I took another fight just to see if I was good because they told me the other girl was really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't read the contract, so I thought it was at 125. 2 weeks before the fight, I realized I have to cut 20 pounds.
What was the fight at?
It was in Vegas for Tough Enough. So they wanted
15,
to make her
115 again?
at 115 again, but I thought it was 125. So when I saw it, I said, well, now I have to drop 20 pounds.
Holy smokes.
In 2 weeks. I'd never done that before. And, and it was challenging, but just keep that mind straight, keep focusing on what you want to do. And I'm like, all right, this will be that time you have to make the sacrifice.
Holy cow.
Yeah, but everything she did gave her a good experience, right?
Right.
To be where she are right now, So of course we change a lot of stuff. If you see, if you think about it, 2 years ago to now we don't train. We know no reason to train with people too heavy. Some people in the gym want to come. Even here in Greubel's, we have some nice people. Yeah. They want to train with her. But we don't allow it. Why? Because accident happens. If somebody too heavy fell down her knee, can ruin her next fight or her whole entire year.
Yeah.
So we changed the way to train. We're doing something more specific for she have a longer fight career. And this is important, not just for Helen, but for anyone who is surviving or trying to make a career in fights game.
Yeah, I think that's so important. Like, when you're a fighter, it's like there's that little something in you that always wants to win no matter what. But sometimes I feel like, I've had moments in the academy like and it doesn't happen very often, but guys they'll spar too hard and they end up hurting each other. So now you got 2 guys that are really fantastic fighters, that they're both busted up, and the whole team no longer has those 2 guys to train with.
Yeah.
It kind of disappointing,
Yes, and that is something, it's really hard. Like, I think that's my biggest asset. Of course, I work hard. I'm willing to sacrifice a lot for what I want, but also I have my ego in check. Let's say I'm training with someone. Today I was training with Jerson. He's got a cauliflower ear and it's really bad. My favorite tool is the left hook. But I don't want to land it there because that thing is going to pop, right?
Oh my
so
gosh.
when we're sparring, and it's like I know because I find myself stuck because I always find that left hook. But now I'm here, I'm stopped, I'm going to eat a shot or 2. But I never feel like, I have to finish so I look good. No, I just don't throw that one punch.
Jerson, go get that ear drained.
Yeah, you have to get it.
We drained yesterday and we drained last week.
Holy smokes, man.
Yeah, he needs more head movement.
I'm thinking about cut off.
Cut off the ear altogether.
That'll solve the issue.
That will solve the issue. But you need to be able to work with what you have. And there was one thing one of my coaches told me once in training. The training was getting out of control. And he said, Helen, whatever you do not break your toys. And I was like, don't break your toys. I'm like, that changed the way I train. I'm like, that's right. That your training partners are your toys. You don't want to break them.
Yeah.
So you always want to push them, especially if they have a contest. But if somebody's coming in to help me, I'm never trying to land.
Right.
I'm never trying to punch them. And when I do, I always, just kind of touch them to let them know. If I'm losing respect, they're backing me up too much. And Sergio goes, I don't want you backing back. I don't want you to take that punch. Nobody touches your face. Nobody.
I care about your pretty face, right?
He gets
Remember-
mad. If I get punched once in 10 rounds,
Yeah.
I have to listen to this. He punch you with the jab.
It's
How
my
did that
job.
happen?
You fight bare-knuckle, one punch. Remember the can? Somebody throw for the crowd?
That's that one can.
That's the one. That's the one. Right?
And even when he's saying that, I know what to do. Like, if I want to stop somebody, I know how to stop them, especially after 2 rounds, and some of the guys are beginners. I know how to set him up. I go like that with this hand, and I know they think I'm going to throw this one, and then I should throw the other one. But I still don't do. I'm like, all right, I'm going to block. I'm going to try to guess where they're throwing, and you get more out of the training session. For example, someone comes in new, and I'm sparring with them, and you don't know me, you would not know I'm a pro. It looks so even. I look just like them. But what I'm doing there is I am working on things that I'm not so good at. Things that I cannot get away with.
I think that's very
What I
important.
do, like when I'm
Yes.
training with Anna. Anna's an amazing fighter. I'm not going to go train with Anna and switch stance. She's gonna kill me, right?
Yeah.
And this is something you're going to use in your fight too, probably.
Yeah.
Why are you going to try to use something, But this fight mentality she has is something, is a champion mentality.
For sure.
Why? Because she know, okay, time to perform is in a real match. Time to show people who I am is in real fights. And this is what make, Helen such a good fighter, She know how to train. She's taking care of her health, getting better every day. And when it's time to shine, she's shining. This is what's nice.
Yeah, I'm super impressed with like Helen's physical performance whenever she spars, she fights, etc. But I think I'm equally as impressed with her mental capacity, her ability to stay calm, her ability to keep, proper perspective and not get too freaked out. That's a hard thing to do, especially when you have lights and cameras and the crowd's going wild.
But this is something we work a lot,
Yeah.
We prepare. I'm sure you do that too with our United States teams when you guys go for big fights, right? So we talk about that, right? This is something I don't know, but probably good coaches, say that. Listen, I want your full attention judging your opponent. Forget about the crowd. Forget about the lights. Just focus about do your job well. Because if your attention go for something else, you're gonna take a punch or kick. Depends what you're competing. You're gonna be really focused to perform, to win your fight, to do what you're supposed to do. If you're not concentrated to do that, you can lose a fight in 1 or 2 punches. Can be some sad end instead of be a happy end, right?
Speaking of the end, like, where do you want to see your career evolve? Like, what part? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In fighting? 5 years. In 5 years, I might be retiring. In 5, 6 years, it depends because
that'd be awesome, right?
it's just so exciting to be out there. Or maybe I'll fake retirement and go away just so people offer me more money to come back. I don't know. But my real goal in life, I want to be a motivational speaker. I want to change life. I want to have an effect on people, and I already am doing that. When I go train and I see the new kids, and every time I can give them a tip that's gonna help them in training, but they can translate in real life because martial arts is not just about the kick and the punches. It's a mindset.
Yes.
It's a lifestyle.
Yes.
And I feel that I can use what I have learned through martial arts. Some things I learned the hard way to improve people's life. To know, like, listen, sometimes you have to take risk. I was supposed to fight in my hometown in 2 weeks. It was a belt, but it's a very small promotion. And I had also the offer to prove that I'm the best in the world as bare-knuckle fighter. That's not my only goal in life, but I was like, man, I have a shot to try that. Yeah. I'm like, all right, I have to cancel the MMA fight, and I'm going to take this fight instead. First of all, I already fought that girl, and I know she was my biggest challenge.
Right.
It was a very challenging night for me. She landed too many shots, and I want to do it different. Of course, I'm taking risks, but that's life, If you don't take any risks, you don't grow. I know people who are so talented in different things, but they never had the courage to press forward, to say, you know what, I'm not going to keep showing up to this 9 to 5 job. It is paying the bills. I'm a little bit comfortable. I'm going to quit that. I'm going to work on my dream. And of course, it's terrifying because the bills have to be paid. Like right now, I'm so broke. It's not even funny. But I am also extremely happy.
If you would like to sponsor Helen, how can they get in touch with you to sponsor you?
Or they can just contact me directly. I answer everybody that message me, even people who message me with not so nice things. I always respond. Yeah, I always respond. You know, it's amusing. It amuses me when people try to be rude, but it also makes me really happy when somebody says like, hey, you know, I watched your fight. I'm very impressed with how people always talk about how calm I am. And I tell them like, listen, it's not because I'm not concerned. Trust me, especially my first bare-knuckle fight. I come out first, you know, I'm there doing my thing, which probably nothing, just standing there like, all right, when we're going to start. Then I see my opponent coming, and I was like, holy shit, I need to stretch. She looks tough, but I'm not thinking like, oh my God. No, I know in training, I did everything I needed to do to be ready for that moment. Now it's about to let things happen. Life is about living. You're not that important. So if you fail, people don't really care. For like 24 hours, you might get some backlash. The haters are the only ones who's going to try to put you in the spot. And guess what? If they hate you, they don't freaking count. To me, they do not count. You can be the best in the world for years. You lose one match and everybody start talking shit. So if you concentrate on that, you'll never be a winner. I go in there and I put all my cards on the table. I know I put in the work. I know I'm prepared. I made way. I did everything I need to do. Now the best person win. If that other person wins because they're better than me, man, they deserve the win and I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
But I'll do everything I can to fucking stop them. That's for sure.
I was having a conversation with one of our young female fighters. She was a junior. And she was really nervous, like, coming up to her fight because she's like, yo, Mark, this girl's, like, she's had, like, you know, some amazing fights. She's won a ton of titles. And, you know, she's a national kickboxing champion. And I said, I'm not going to say her name, but I said, you know what? You're a national champion, too. Don't forget that.
Yep.
And to be honest with you, what is going to be the worst case scenario here? Let's say you go out there and you get knocked out, right? Do you think I'm going to lose more respect for you for taking that fight or gain respect for you, you know? And she's like, well, I would hope that you would gain respect for me for doing it. I said, absolutely. If I said I'm going to go fight Floyd Mayweather in a boxing match and he knocked me out, are you going to gain respect for me or lose respect for me?
Of course.
I would hope you would gain respect for me because there's not a lot of you guys out there that would do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I would be with you to help you. just use that millions.
Get used to that.
Who threw that can of Coca-Cola at me?
We're going to spend that money together.
There you go.
There's no losers in that fight.
No.
But you know, like I see how that she might feel like that, and some people tell me sometimes they have really a fight coming up. Like I'm fighting this guy who's really good. I'm like, don't worry about what he can do. Think about what you can do.
That is right. Absolutely.
Think about what can you do. Don't go in there defensive. Let me see what he's gonna throw. No, what are you good at?
I have a little
set him up for that.
I have a little mind hack, and it's on that vein. Like when because I'm not a big guy. I'm thin framed Asian guy. Like not big. You know, not like super intimidating looking dude. But whenever I was spar. Like, I always say to myself, I'm going to make this guy worry about what I'm going to do. I'm not going to worry about what he's going to do. And it doesn't matter who it is. It always helps benefit you because the last thing you want to do is sit there and try to dodge everything a guy's doing and then worry about everything they're going to do, right? Because now the guy's busting you up with every shot because you're so hesitant.
You're thinking. Yeah. If you start thinking, you're going to wake up and somebody's going to have to tell you what happened. You know?
Exactly. Who threw that can of Pepsi?
Or where we are, in the hospital.
What happened? You were thinking.
That is hilarious. All right, Helen, in closing, is there anything that you want to tell the people out there?
Nothing specific, you know, follow my career if you want to watch someone who is willing to do everything they can to show the world that they're worth it. Not necessarily that I'm worthy of a title. For me, titles they don't define who I am. I think people who define themselves with the stuff that they have, they're probably not nice people, you know? This just will be something that will be a result of who I am, not something I'm aiming for. UFC title, if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it wasn't meant for me. If I go in there and get the opportunity, I'm going to try to knock the bitch out 100%. That's my thing, you know? Am I going to be intimidated? No. Why? Yeah. Because my biggest fear in the fight game is not to lose fight. Right. It's to lose to a loser. That's why I only fight people who can beat me. I only fight people who are 100% able to beat me because that way, going in, I'm not worried about whether
deep.
or not
Say
what
that
happens.
Again? That's the quote of the week. Say that one more time. on.
Which part? Like, I don't want to lose to a loser?
Yes.
Yeah, you don't want to
Holy
lose to a
smokes.
loser. That's terrifying. You know, I had girls that big men backed out of fight. I was supposed to fight 4 times between my last fight and now, and I got 0. And one of them was really good. I'm not going to mention any names now, but I am going to call you out if you don't take my offer. But, you know, we're supposed to fight for a big promotion, and she turned me down as not being the right fight. I thought it was a good match. Then she picks a lady on a 3-fight losing streak, and then she gets choked out.
Damn.
She lost to a loser. You know, this fight would have been better. I wasn't going to try to take her down. She's a boxing champion.
And she did a bad move because instead of choose you as a striker where she has a chance, she chose a grappler.
And then get choked out. I was going to keep it standing because, you know, I like punching people in the face repeatedly until they quit. So that's what we were going to do. And she's a boxing champion, so I thought it was a good fight. You know, and you have people doing this. So why would you want to risk losing to a loser? I never take easy fights. I turned down my fight that I was going to do in my hometown to fight this chick who could probably kill me if I let her.
That's a really cool perspective. That would tear me up to lose to a loser.
No, that's why I sleep so comfortable. That's why, like, when I went for the first fight, I was so relaxed. It wasn't because I thought I'm that good. I knew I everything was against me. Then I was way smaller. I didn't have any experience. You know, I literally had, as she said, 2 months of boxing, trying to figure out. She's training with this top, you know, gyms, and most of her training partners are champion. And I'm training out of a senior home garage with one of my coaches who's like 25 years old, you know, not lived that long. But I went in there comfortable because to me, it's like, if I lose, I lost to the champion. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, for sure.
Of course,
That's
I don't
really
let that
cool
psych
idea.
me up. I just keep going and I go strong. And that doesn't stop me from performing. I don't get shy. But I sleep very well at night knowing that I'm not going in there with the possibility of losing to a loser. That terrifies me.
I love that. That's awesome. That's a really good
That
perspective.
takes care of all the nerves. Just always pick hard fights because when you win, it's so much better. It's just so sweet. You know, I don't know how to explain it. Even though my face was so busted up, everything tasted better the next day after I won that title.
Right on. Now listen, guys, if you like the content, give us a thumbs up, smash the like button, and subscribe, okay? We'll see you guys soon.